Hey guys!
Alright guys, it's Monday, it's doubleheader day. We're starting off with our good friends in Evil Drive. Not only they record sick riffs, they also cook a mean barbecue.
Yeah.
At least we can attest to that. It was great. They had us over to their house, barbecue, food, drinks,
Nice
everything.
people.
Great people, great people. They let you play some guitar and everything like that. So
That was probably one of the highlights of the visit.
definitely, it was so nice to have the red carpet rolled out for us. You know what I mean? Having us over to their house, hanging out, and then we went to Dark River Festival. What a great way to get started, our Finnish experience, if you will. So these guys have a new album coming out. This is the first single, first video, Rising from the Revenge. There's no way I would pass an opportunity to check out a video from such good people and, like I said, good friends of ours. Are you ready to check out the brand new Evil Drive?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Showing off, you better for
All right, can I go first? Because I have a lot of things to unpack. They've changed a few members of the band from the last videos that we did, from the last album that they released to this album. They have a new bass player and a new drummer, I believe. Now, let me start off by saying this. I felt that okay, before I even talk about the music, let me just say something about the video. I love what they did with the video because it's simple. I like the lighting.
Yeah.
And this goes to show what I keep saying all the time to bands that perhaps don't have like a huge budget to spend on a very elaborate video, that you can do a very cool looking video in a very simple way. You just have to be creative on how you do it. There was a part of the video where the lights are kind of coming on and off, and I think the way the lights are flashing, it makes it look like they're moving in slow motion. I thought that was incredible. I really like that effect that it added to the whole experience of the song. So I just want to say that this video is living proof that you don't have to have like a Metallica budget in order to make a great music video. The music video is super entertaining. It's about the song. The video is there to just kind of enhance the experience, but it's not taking anything away from the song.
It's just kind of, I mean, it's just kind of there.
It's just there.
There's a lot of music videos that take away from the song and kind of make the song less enjoyable. But this one...
Yeah, and then there's bands who try to do too much.
Too much, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't have the budget to do too much, and then it kind of comes across a little bit cheesy or a little bit weak, if you will. And then when the video is like that, in my opinion, it kind of takes a little bit of the quality of the song away. Because if the song is great, but you're watching a video that's kind of silly, it diminishes the impact of the track. So I felt that this video, this song, perfectly. Not going over the top, you know, being considerate of the budget at hand and putting together a video that's entertaining, that's fun to watch, and that goes well with the track itself. So I just wanted to say that. Now, getting into the song, the first thing that I felt or that I noticed about this track is that it had a really strong bass line. And I'm not necessarily talking about just the bass, but there was a little bit of thickness, this heavy thickness to the overall sound that the track had, coming from the drums and the bass together, really creating this very strong foundation for how everything else then got delivered on top of that. If I go back to their previous album, it sounded a lot more driven. It had more of a penetrating sound. Not to say that the drums and bass wasn't good in the previous record.
It's just the guitars.
Just the overall sound was more, and not to say that here the sound is not driven by the guitars either. But I felt that the sound in the previous records perhaps felt, at least to me, it felt a little bit more penetrating, more driven. And that works, but it takes a little bit of the heaviness of the sound itself because it starts to feel very thin.
This one has an equal balance of thickness to driven.
Yeah, the guitars are still, in my opinion, the guitars are still pushing the track forward, but you don't just hear the guitars. There's a thickness of volume, there's a thickness of sound. So I don't know if that has to do with the new guys in the band or how they recorded, where they recorded, all of those things. But I like, for a band that has their style, their sound, their approach, that thickness of sound is important in my opinion. You can still be driven on the guitars, you can still rip it up, but I want that sound to have the song doesn't have to be heavy. The sound has to be heavy, has to be thick, has to have volume. And I felt that on this song.
Because if it's just the guitars being driven and nothing else, it just feels thin.
Yeah, because because with her vocals, her vocals push the song forward as well. So if everything is pushing the song forward and there's no weight on it, it almost feels like it feels too thin. It feels like there's not. It's like you're eating a meal and you're still hungry afterwards. Like it just feels it's empty calories.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. So I felt that on this track from the beginning, the moment the song started, I was like, wow, there's a little bit more overall bass on the sound of the track, on the sound of the song. It feels a little bit heavier, it has a little bit more presence, more volume, and I like that because, like I said, for a band that has their style and their sound. You really need that. You need that bass line because their solos are very melodic. They have a lot of melodic elements into their sound, and that lightens up the overall feel of the track. So if you don't have something that brings the mood down, the song starts to feel a little bit too light. Exactly. At least, do you agree?
I agree. Yeah.
All right.
And it was nice for the bass and the drums to kind of keep that balance.
They created this perfect road. And then the guitars and vocals on top of it just did their thing. But underneath it, the bass and drums created this incredible path,
yeah.
cushion for the sound. They expanded. They made the song feel bigger. You know, like it hits you harder. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine listening to a track on your iPod or on a stereo with no bass, and then you put the bass. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. I mean, it's not the same song, right? So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing is, man, I love the guitar playing on this track. I absolutely love the guitar playing.
I played one of those guitars.
Yes, you did.
It was the shattered one.
Yeah, you did.
I noticed it right away.
Oh.
I could never forget that.
Look at this guy. Not name dropping, but guitar dropping.
I'm guitar dropping.
So I really love the sound of the guitars on this track. I love the fact that they had that short solo earlier into the song. And I was kind of hoping that was not going to be the only solo because it was really early into the track. And it wasn't... It almost worked as an interlude or as a bridge, if you will. I'm glad that they came back later with two solos like that it really extend the song, that make the song feel a little bit more complete.
Kind of like teasing you a little bit with the tip, and then
the first one, like I said, it almost felt just more like a bridge, like connecting the song, creating an interlude within the track. It felt perfectly there, but I was kind of hoping it was not going to be the only one, because it fit the purpose that it had, but it didn't feel to me like the right. If this is going to be the only solo the track is going to have, then I'm going to feel like there's something missing. Like it works well if you're using, like I said, as an interlude, bridge, whatever. But it can be the solo.
Yeah, it doesn't take the place of the solo.
Can't take the place of the solo. So then when the solos came later on, the first thing that I noticed listening to the solos, it had this huge. Maybe I'm the only one who's going to say this listening to this song, but that solo stretch, that solo piece, sounded very Iron Maiden, which is not a bad thing. So think about this. The song has a lot of melodic death metal elements. It's very melodic, it's very heavy, it's very driven. There's a lot of melodic...
in the end there, the way the song started too, where it was very, very driven and fast.
Yeah, so it has a lot of melodic death metal influence throughout. As you go, you can almost close your eyes, stop the song at any point in time, and it feels very melodic death metal. It has that aroma to it. But that solo, to me, went almost against the grain, because it was not the kind of solo that I was expecting for a song like this, but still worked phenomenally well. It had a little bit of that new wave of British heavy metal, Iron Maiden classic heavy metal style solo.
For me, it was more of a
classic, over the top.
I didn't think Iron Maiden. I thought more classic heavy metal.
For me, it had a little bit.
But I think it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same. But if I closed my eyes and somebody told me that was an Iron Maiden solo, I would believe it. It kind of reminded me of how Iron Maiden puts their solos into the track. Very intricate, elaborate, two different guitar players, that kind of stuff. It had... I'm not saying this is Iron Maiden quality, because you know what I mean. Like Iron Maiden is Iron Maiden. You know, there's only one Iron Maiden. Yeah. But what I'm saying to you is, listening to it, and if you can close your eyes, you can start to see or feel a lot of Iron Maiden influences into how that solo sounded.
Yeah, I didn't think Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah, for me it was immediately. I felt Iron Maiden like immediately. Like I just kind of had that vibe to it.
That spidey sense.
Yeah, it just had that it just had that sound. I can't explain it. It's just like when I heard it, it was like, if you ask me what does it sound like, Iron Maiden, like immediately. Like 2 notes, I was like, Iron Maiden. Wow, it had such an Iron Maiden feel, and it works perfectly with a track. I wouldn't think so.
It also helped change up the track a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't break the track.
No,
it doesn't feel like it doesn't belong there.
No,
everything transitions smoothly.
Yeah,
but it
works well.
But it gives you something that you haven't heard up until that point, and you're not going to hear afterwards. It's very specific.
It's something fresh
and very specific to that spot.
Yeah,
I really liked it. So that's my take. Anything else you want to add?
I mean,
did you enjoy the track?
I really enjoyed the track. I was vibing with the whole fast pace and heaviness.
When they turn on the turbo, when they turn it all the way to 11, it's an absolute banger of a track. Absolute banger of a track.
And then what a way to end off the song too. And it ends off with the same intensity that
as it started. It goes full circle. The song goes absolutely full circle. And I'm glad that they didn't finish the song with the solo, because the solo is very melodic. It kind of takes the song in a different path. But then they come back to that same original formula.
It makes it feel even faster.
And it makes the song come, like I said, full circle. It completes the track. One more thing before we go is the vocals. What did you think about the vocals?
Oh, it went it was like hand in glove. It went perfect with the.
Well, unless you're O.J. Simpson, but yes. Okay, but go on.
Yeah. It's hand in glove. I mean, it goes really. Those type of vocals are what you need for a track like this.
And I felt that she was neck and neck with everything. It's not like she was falling
Falling
behind.
behind. No, she was there.
She was helping carry the song forward. I really like the raspiness in her voice. She has this like almost evilness to the way she sounds, the way she comes across, very effortless. So I really like the tone, the delivery, and on a track like this that has a lot of power, that's really moving forward. You almost need that. You need that anger that comes like from deep inside, that grit, and she has that. So definitely enjoy this track. All right, guys, this is it for this video, but don't go anywhere. There's another video coming right after. See you guys.
See ya.